Hello and welcome to Drill and Kill. That's correct, my friend. This is where we drill until we kill all the mistakes. So, without further ado, let's get on to our first problem. And we're off and running. 3,594 divided by 4. First thing I want to do is do my counting by the numbers. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. So then I want to take this and make my first area box, and I'm going to plug the 3,594 right inside the box. I'm going to put the 4 on the outside of the box because that's my divisor. Now I'm looking at how many times 4 can fit inside 3,594. Well, it cannot fit into the 3, but it can fit into 35, so I need a place value holder for these two digits here. So I'm going to put 2 zeros above those right there, and then that will give me 2 zeros right down here. So I'll put a 0 here and a 0 here, and that's because these 2 zeros times 4 will give me these 2 zeros here. And then I'm looking at how many times 4 can go into 35. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36 is too much. So I'm going to come right back here to 32, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 times 4 will give me 32. So I'm going to plug an 8 here, and as you see, this is really 800, right? Because I got these 200s here. And 8 times 4 will give me 32. And now I'm ready to subtract, check for trouble coming, and I've got none. So I'm ready to add my next area box right in there. And now I'm going to give myself a little more room. And 4 minus nothing is going to give me 4 right here. And then 9 minus nothing is going to give me a 9 right there. And 5 minus 2 will give me 3 right there. And then 3 minus 3 zeroes out, so I don't need to worry about it. So now I'm looking at how many times the 4 can go into 394. The 4 cannot fit into 3, but it can fit into 39. So I'm going to add a 0 above this 4, and that's going to hold the place value. And then 0 times 4 will give me a 0 down here. And then I'm just looking at 4 going into 39, and as I come across here, I see that 36 works, but 40 is too big, so I'm going to come back here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to put a 9 here, which means this is really 90 that I'm multiplying by, right? 90 here. And 9 times 4 will give me the 36 here. So I'm going to write 36 right there. And I'm going to subtract. Once again, I got no trouble coming, so I'm ready to add my next area box. And I'll do that right here. And now I'm ready to subtract. 4 minus 0 will give me 4. And then 9 minus 6 will give me a 3 right here. And 3 minus 3 zeros out. So I'm looking at how many times this 4 can go into 34. Because the 3, well, that's too small, right? So let's go ahead and grab this and move this right down here. And then that way I get a little more room. And now let's look at the 4 and how many times it can go into 34. I got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and 36 is too big. So I'm going to come back here. And that means I'm multiplying by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to plug an 8 right there. And then 8 times 4 will give me the 32 right here. And I'm all ready to subtract. And 4 minus 2 is going to give me 2. And 3 minus 3 is 0. So 2 is my remainder because 2 is smaller than 4. So now I'm ready to simply add up like this. And I get 8. And 9, and 8, and that works because I added this up, I added this up, and I added that up, and now I got to plug my remainder in. My remainder is 2, and therefore, we have, whoops, let's get this a little, it's running away from me. And so, 3,594 divided by 4 equals 898 with a remainder of 2 left over. That, my friends, is how you solve this problem. If you made a mistake along the way, no worries. Simply pause the video, fix your mistake. That is the fastest way to learn. And in a moment, we will move on to our next problem in this video. And here we go. 4,389 divided by Big Bad 8. So first we want to do our counting by the numbers. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, and 80. Next, I want to shrink this so I have a little bit more room. And I'm going to add my first area box in here. And I'm going to plug in the 4,389 right inside there. Grab that 8, which is the divisor, and plug it in right on the outside of the area box. And now I'm looking at how many times the 8 will fit inside 4,389. Well, 8 will not fit into 4, but it will fit into 43. So I'm going to put place value holders above both of these digits here. And that's a 0 and a 0. And that means that I'll have a 0 here and a 0 here. And that is because these two zeros times 8 will give me these two zeros here. Now, 8, I'm counting by 8s. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and I cannot go to 48, so I'm down here at 40, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to plug a 5 in here, and that means 5 times 8 is going to give me the 40 right here. And as you notice, it's really 500 times 8, which gives me 4,000, because of these two zeros here. But let's move on, and I clearly have no trouble coming, so I am ready to make my next area box. I'm going to shrink this and plug that next area box right in there. And then, actually, I'm going to grab this and move this over here so I have room. And now I'm going to simply subtract. I get 9 minus 0 is going to give me 9. The 8 minus 0 will give me 8 here. And the 3 minus 0 gives me 3 here. And then 4 minus 4 zeroes out, so I don't have to worry about that at all. And 8 will not fit into 3, but it will fit into 38. So I'm going to add a 0 above here. And that means that I'm going to get a 0 down here, because 0 times 8 will give me this 0 here. And now I'm looking at how many times the 8 will go into 38. And as I come across here, I got 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40 is going to be too big. So I'm going to come 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to plug a 4 right in there. And now I can see that 4 times 8 will give me the 32 here. So I'm going to plug in 30 and 2. And actually, if you see, this is really 40. 40 times 8 is going to give me the 320. That's kind of cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and check for trouble coming. I got no trouble here, and none here. So I'm ready to make my next area box. I'll do that right there. And now I'm going to move this up a bit so I have a little more room. And 9 minus 0 is going to give me 9. And 8 minus 2 will give me 6. And then the 3 minus 3 zeroes out. I don't need to worry about it. So now I'm looking at the 8 will not fit into the 6, so I am going with the 69. So I'm up in this ones column. And I'm going to go right across, and 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72 is too big. So I'm going to come back here, and that means I'm multiplying by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to plug an 8 right in there. And then 8 times 8 will give me 64. And then 9 minus 4 is going to give me 5. And 5 is smaller than the 8 here. So that's going to be my remainder. So all I have to do now is add this up, and I am done. So I've got an 8 here, I've got a 4 here, I got a 5 here, and my remainder from right down here is another 5, right? So the answer for this problem, 4,389 divided by 8 equals 548 with a remainder of 5 left over. Hey, if you made a mistake, no worries at all, my friend. Simply pause the video, fix the mistake. That is your fastest way to learn. Until next time, which is going to be about in 1 or 2 seconds, have a great day, but I'll see you in about a second. And here we go. 6,752 divided by 7. Counted by the numbers 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, and 70. All right, so here we go. First thing I want to do is create that area box. And bam, there she is. And I get 6,752 right inside the box. Grab my divisor, which is 7, and put it outside the box. And I'm going to see how many times the 7 will fit into 6,752. And it cannot fit into the 6, but it can fit into 67. So I'm going to put 2 zeros up here to hold the place value for the tens digit and the ones digit. And that means I'll get 2 zeros down here because these 2 zeros times 7 will give me these 2 zeros here. Next, 7 into 67, and I've got 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70 is too much. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is 9 right here, which means I'm really multiplying by 900, right? Because I got these 2 zeros. 9 times 7 is going to give me this 63. So I'm going to drop that right in here. And I'm ready to subtract, right? So I've got no trouble coming at all. So I am good to go. And that means I'm going to make my next area box right there. And I get right here 5. 5, that's a 5, that's a 2. 2 minus 0 equals 2. And then I get 5 minus 0 is 5. And then I get 3 minus, backwards, switch that around. 7 minus 3 is going to give me 4. And then the 6 minus 6 will zero out, so I don't have to worry about it. Next, I'm looking at the 7 fitting in. It will not fit into the 4, but it can go into 45, so I'm going to add a 0 above here. And before I do that, though, I'm going to shrink this and move it over here, and then add that 0 up there. And then that means I'll get a 0 down here, because 0 times 7 will give me 0 here. Next, I'm looking at how many times the 7 can go into 45 here. I got 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, too much. So I'm going to come back here to 42, and that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm multiplying by 6 here. So actually that's 60, right? Which gives me 42 here, which actually is 420 because I'm multiplying by 60, right? And next, I need to check for trouble coming, and I have no trouble here, and none there. So I'm ready to make my next area box and subtract, right? And I get 2 minus nothing is going to give me 2, and 5 minus 2 is going to give me 3, and then 4 minus 4 zeros out, but I don't have to worry about it. So now I'm looking at how many times the 7 can go into 32, because it surely can't go into 3, so I'll have to work with the whole 32 here. I'm in this ones column, and that is awesome. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35 is too much, so I'm going to come back here. That means I'm multiplying by 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll plug a 4 right in there. Bam. And 4 times 7 will give me the 28. So I'll drop the 28 there. This time I do have trouble coming because I cannot take 2 and subtract 8 from it. So I'm going to borrow from this 3, turn that 3 into a 2, turn this 2 into 12, and now I can subtract. 12 minus 8 is going to give me 4 right here. And then 2 minus 2 zeros out, so I don't have to worry about that. 4 is smaller than 7, so it is my remainder. And now I simply add up, and I get 4 here, 6 here, and 9 here. And once again, that's because I simply added this up, and this up, and this up. And now I got to plug in my remainder, which is this 4 right here. And bam, there you have it. 6,752 divided by 7 equals 964 with a remainder of 4 left over. Hey, if you made a mistake, no worries at all. Simply pause the video, fix the mistake, and that is your fastest way to learn. One more problem for this video, and then we're done. Let's move on to that problem. So here we go. 4,988 divided by 6. Counting by the numbers, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, and 60. So next, I want to make my first area box, and I'll do that right there. And I'm going to grab this 4,900, oops, that's a comma, 988 and plug it right inside the area box. I'm going to grab the 6 and put it on the outside because it is my divisor. And how many times can 6 go into 4,988? Well, 6 will not fit into 4, but it will fit into 49. So I'm going to add 2 zeros up here to hold the place value for the tens place and the ones place. That means I'm going to get 2 zeros down here. And that is because these 2 zeros times 6 will give me these 2 zeros here. And now I'm looking at how many times 6 can go into 49. So I got 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. 54 is too much, so I'm going to come back here to 48. And that means I'm going to multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and big bad 8. So I'm going to drop an 8 right there. And let's drop that bad boy right there. And then 8 times 6 is going to give me the 48, right? So I'm going to plug in the 48 right here. And check for trouble coming. I have absolutely no trouble coming. So I will make my next area box. And that goes right there. And 8 minus 0 will give me an 8. Surprise, surprise. 8 minus 0 gives me another 8. And 9 minus 8 is going to give me 1. So now I'm looking at how many times the 6 can go into 188. Well, 6 cannot fit into 1, but it can fit into 18. So I'm going to add a 0 above this column here. But before I do that, let me grab this and get that out of the way. And then I'll put my 0 right there. And then anything times 0, in this case 6 times 0 will give me a 0 down here. So I drop my 0 there, and now I'm looking at how many times the 6 can go into 18. And I've got 6, 12, bingo, right on the money. 1, 2, 3 gives me 18. So 6 times 3 will give me 18. So write that 18 there. And now I'm good to subtract. And I've actually got no trouble coming, right? And I'm ready to make my next area box, right? So I'm going to plug that in right there. And I get 8 minus 0 is going to give me 8. And then this zeroes out, and so does that. So I am down to just my 8. And 6 can only go into 8 one time, because if I went to times 2, that's 12. It's too much. So I'm going to plug a 1 right there. And I'll just put that 1 right there, which gives me a 6 here. And then I get 2 left over, right? So now all I have to do is add this straight up. And I'm going to get a 1 and a 3 and an 8 with a remainder of this 2 right here. Put it right there. And that is how it works. Now, 4,988 divided by 6 equals 831 with a remainder of 2 left over. Hey, that's how you solve the problem. If you made a mistake, no worries at all. Simply pause the video, fix your mistake, and that is the fastest way to learn. Until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. sayonara for now. Now to drill and kill counting by the numbers. Hey, if you already know all your counting by the numbers and you can do them all by heart, then you can stop the video right now and move on to the next problem. However, if you don't, let's drill and kill until we know them all. And now, on to counting by the numbers. This is a great strategy for anybody who does not have all their multiplication facts memorized. Counting by threes. Ready? Here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Counting by fours. Ready? And 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Counting by sixes. Here we go. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. Counting by sevens, here we go. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. And counting by eights, here we go. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. Counting by nines, here we go. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90.